Hello, Ryan here, aka Mac, and welcome. So, as you may have heard, PC Gamer Magazine also got hands-on with Star Citizen 3.0. If you have not read it yet, here is the lowdown. It was a member of the PC Gamer Magazine who got to spend some time playing 3.0 and talking with the devs along with Chris Roberts in the LA studio. He mentioned that one moment he's being shown the grand scale of the universe, including the planets, the stars, the asteroid belts, and space stations. And then the next moment, he's inspecting subtle changes on specific sections of player armor, demonstrating the effect of dirt buildup and little tiny scratches and dents from wear and tear. He got to see a capital ship, some work on Squadron 42 characters, a developer working on the damage for ships, plus the testing of an outfit as it's put through its various animations to ensure that the fabric reacts appropriately. He says upon seeing this, he also noticed that even the characters' earrings swung in a believable way. Anyway, with 3.0, the main feature he got shown was the ability to play and have a look at the Alpha 3.0 demo. He also talks us through what happened, so I'll condense this down into a much easier to digest segment. He received a mission which was to go and check out a wreck, search for survivors, which was on Daymar. Now he got this from the Levski landing zone, which is the once mining facility on the dwarf planet-sized asteroid Delamar. But while descending deeper into the colony, he said he noticed NPCs strolling around, which sounds as though NPCs may be in 3.0, fingers crossed. But he poked his head into a number of shops, including a weapons dealer and a bar. Now, after getting the mission, he flew off to Daymar, and he said his ship's landing gear just gently connected with the surface of Daymar, reacting and compressing in a realistic manner as he touches down. He swivels his head to the MFDs and manually shuts down the engines, and he said he noticed other options like opening and closing doors, cycling airlocks, and obviously the ability to drag and adjust your power between systems. He says that it's useful to have this feature, especially when it comes to intermittent players like himself, not having to memorize all the controls, but also how just immersive it feels that you're really interacting with your ship. Another feature that I found very interesting that he talked about was the new player speed mechanic. So using your mouse scroll wheel, you can cycle between a slow walk, a normal strolling pace, a quickened walk, to a jog, and then to a run. And he says the animations between them are smooth and it reacts appropriately between speeds. I assume using shift would allow you to sprint. But he climbs out of the cockpit and strolls through the cargo hold of his ship, lowers the ramp, and has to slightly hop out of the ramp because he did not land it on a completely flat surface. He said a few meters away he could see the shipwreck scattered into several pieces, and inching through the gloomy ruined ship in first person with his gun drawn and torch on, he eventually located the 2 dead crew. Now this was his main objective, so it's kind of mission complete, but he picks up a small box and carries it out of the wreck to put in his cargo hold, just as 2 Nox racer bikes appear skimming across the surface. Now these are controlled by 2 CIG developers at another location within the LA studio. They fire at him but clearly are missing, intentionally for the purpose of the demo, allowing him to take time to get his Scourge railgun out and then blow them both away. After the battle, he said he was guided to a small outpost on the surface where he could spawn a Nox for himself and just race across the surface, cresting sand dunes and zipping past boulders like an Imperial speeder on Endor. The session ends, he says, after he accidentally crashes the Nox. Some other points he talked about, he spoke to Sean Tracy regarding the procedural planets and how it's not completely left up to the algorithm like we saw in No Man's Sky. They're more procedurally assisted, and then artists will obviously come in and make sure that they look good, adding, carving canyons, painting features, and altering terrain and adding flora. He also talks about how NPCs will be more akin to the Shadow of Mordor's Nemesis system, in which NPCs will remember you and react to you appropriately depending on your actions. They'll have their own personality, they'll persist. He spoke about the new stamina system coming to 3.0, and then eventually, not in 3.0, but eventually the survival elements with the player needing to eat and drink. Now, we have spoken about this before. I'm unsure whether it'll be an imperative action that you need to do this or just a little booster feature. We'll have to wait and see. But he also spoke about the possibility of setting up a homestead on a world of your choosing, maybe setting up a resource gathering operation, or even a farm, carving out a life and occupation. Now, something like that is a long way off, don't expect that anytime soon. Chris Roberts said that he wants to emulate situations Han Solo found himself in during space battles, so like running around to man turrets, fixing components and systems, and restoring power on board your ship while you're battling it out. But he also talked about subtle features, so for one, requiring you to store your large armor that you're wearing, your armor suit, in a locker if you want to fly a ship, because you will not be able to sit in the cockpit wearing it, which means that if you get breached, you'll have to grab your gear and then restore the life support on board your gear. So it's not just a case of you can just wear anything, it'll feel more realistic. Same with helmets, you can place them down, pick them up. Now, there was a little insurance diagram. It says that stage 1, you'll be able to lock ships and doors to prevent theft. Stage 2, doors can then be blown off with explosives leading to theft. Stage 3 is if your ship gets stolen, then you'll have to file an insurance claim. Step 4, the stolen ship will then be marked as hot, and reputable vendors won't buy a hot ship. So stage 5 means that shady buyers might, but they may just strip them for parts. And then the final stage, stage 6, is that your insurance will replace your stolen ship. Now, the PC Gamer guy says that he found the build of 3.0 he played, gave him a glimpse into Star Citizen's future, and he can now feel like he's got something solid under his feet. Personally, I feel we got more info from the PC Gamer review rather than the GameStar review. I'm very excited for these large-scale and subtle features. There's obviously a mixture of the two. It sounds like 3.0 will be a great example of what's to come, and I just cannot wait to get our hands on it. Hopefully, we will get to see more and get lots more details on 3.0 this year at Gamescom. Don't forget, we're giving away a Star Citizen starter package, courtesy of my patrons. All you got to do is be a subscriber here on YouTube and just comment below with anything you want to say. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to follow me here on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram, and I shall see you next time.